Ever wonder what's really going on inside a children's magazine? Well, today we're going to pop the hood and take a look. You might be surprised by the sheer amount of educational science that's packed into every single page. Right there on the page, they tell you what they're all about, creating meaningful interactions. And that's what we're digging into today. We're going to see exactly how they pull this off and how they turn simple reading time into a full-on brain-building adventure. So let's start with the big picture here. This is way more than just a magazine. You have to understand, nothing you see on these pages is there by accident. Nope. Every single element, every picture, every word, it's all designed on purpose to support a key part of how a child learns and grows. I mean, just look at this list. The content is literally engineered to build skills across a huge range of areas. We're talking geography, science, communication, even physical and emotional development. So yeah, this is not just a bunch of cool animal facts. It's really a complete toolkit for learning. Okay, this next part is what I find really fascinating. It's how the magazine actually guides the grown-up. Think of it like a built-in user manual, a simple little interface that helps you, the adult, make reading together so much more powerful. So see these little blue blobs? They're your cue to start talking. They're basically conversation starters. And it's not about quizzing your kid, right? It's about helping them connect what they see on the page to their own life. Asking something simple like, hey, why do you think that fox is pouncing? Gets them thinking, making connections. It's huge. Then you've got these green circles. These are awesome. They turn reading into a game, right on the page. It's like a little bonus activity. So when it asks, how many planets with rings can you see? It's not just a counting exercise. It's actually training their eyes to spot details and really pay attention. And the orange circles? These are all about getting up and moving. They're action prompts. This is so smart because connecting learning to physical movement is amazing for memory. So you get things like, jump up like this fox, or open your mouth as wide as the whale shark. It just makes the whole thing fun, active, and way more memorable. Okay, so we've seen the how, the little prompts and guides. Now let's dive into the actual content. This is where you see how they use pure wonder to teach really important ideas. And the best part? It never, ever feels like a lesson. Take this page, for example. We're not just told about a fox. We're thrown right into the action. The headline itself, Ready to Pounce, is so dynamic. It creates this little bit of drama, it makes you ask, what's going to happen next? And that immediately pulls a kid right in. And check out how they present the facts. They're amazing at making big ideas easy to understand. It says the fox jumps as high as a grown-up's head. See that? They're not just giving a measurement, they're comparing it to something a child knows and sees every single day. That makes the fact stick. It's brilliant. This page is another perfect example. They use contrast to create that wow factor. You've got this huge whale shark, right? The world's biggest fish. But then they say it's as long as 4 cars and has eyes the size of ping pong balls. By comparing this massive, incredible creature to everyday things, they make a huge concept like scale totally understandable for a little kid. It just creates this amazing sense of wonder. All right, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the interactive stuff. The hands-on things. Because what looks like just fun and games, well, it's actually some cleverly disguised skill building. I mean, who doesn't love stickers, right? We usually think of them as just a fun little extra, but in this magazine, they have a very, very specific job to do, and it's way more important than just decorating the page. And here it is. The simple act of peeling a sticker off of a page and putting it somewhere else, that is a workout for their tiny hand muscles. We're talking about fine motor skills, the exact same skills they're going to need to hold a pencil and learn to write. So yeah, stickers are basically pre-writing practice in disguise. How cool is that? Or take a simple matching game like this. Looks easy enough, right? But what's really happening here is a huge lesson in sequencing, in cause and effect. When a kid draws a line from the before to the after, they're not just matching pictures. They're thinking logically. They're starting to understand that one thing leads to another. It's a massive concept taught in the simplest way. And of course, even the letter games are super intentional. This isn't some boring drill. It's play with a purpose. They're not just showing you an A, they're getting you to sing about animals that start with A. By tying letters to things kids already find exciting, like animals or a party, they sneak in all this great vocabulary and phonics practice without it ever feeling like work. So, When you put all of these pieces together, what's the end result? What's the big takeaway from all these carefully designed little details? Well, it really all comes down to this one central idea. The magazine itself isn't the teacher, it's just the tool. The real magic, the actual brain-building stuff, happens in those moments you share together. The laughing, the talking, the playing. And hey, it clearly works. Look at that number. Over 97% of parents say this magazine helps their child learn. That is a huge stamp of approval. It just goes to show how powerful this mix of science and play really is when you put it into practice. So, at the end of the day, the big takeaway is that reading together is about so much more than just learning facts about foxes or whale sharks. It's about building their vocabulary, sure. It's about showing them the world. But most importantly, it's about strengthening that bond between you and them, because that is the real foundation for a lifetime of learning. And that kind of leads us to a bigger question, doesn't it? If a simple magazine can be this intentional, this packed with purpose, what other everyday moments could we turn into powerful learning opportunities? It shows that the science of play isn't something you just find on a page. It's a mindset. And that's a pretty cool idea to think about.